Hi, and welcome to the 28 Days of Beth. Today is day 28. Earlier, we posted from Fourth Cliff, where we arrived at about 2 o'clock. And there's a video of Hannah and I sitting on the bench. And apparently, everything that was said is pretty much muffled by the wind. So I'm going to repeat it here so you guys know what was going on today. We sailed from Plymouth up to here. It took us about 3 hours. We left late. Our dinghy wouldn't start, and I wanted it to start so we could motor in to the bench. We ended up rowing into the bench. But it delayed us about an hour, so they got there at about 1 instead of noontime. It was a good sail up, but we had 30-knot winds right out of the front and a great current coming in, so it took us a little bit longer. We anchored up and paddled in. It was wonderful to see my family there, great family and friends, and I got to thank Carol and Julie and Allison for all their efforts in logistics and planning this and getting free stays places and traveling legs of the trip with me and being here to put everything to bed once we get here. And I really appreciate that, along with all the marinas that donated times and slips. I also want to have a shout out for Hannah, who had undying support and words of inspiration for me the whole way. And of course, none of this would have been possible without Beth's spirit pushing me all the way through. So today, 10 years ago, was the day that Beth passed away. And the doctor told me the night before he wanted to talk to me in the morning, and he did. And I met with him and my sister Peg, who's a nurse, and he said her gases are very poor. They're not recovering her blood gases. Her organs are starting to shut down. And after the surgery, which removed her ECMO, she just wasn't staying like he thought she would, and that she would probably only have 12 to 24 hours to live. And he gave us the option of she can just wither away. Who knows if she was in pain or not? He said, or you can kind of choose when to remove life support. So I made a very difficult decision to remove life support at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, after we had a few more hours to spend with her, so that she wouldn't pass like in the middle of the night with no one around. So we did that at 4 o'clock, and about 4:05 she did pass away. So a few things about Beth that kept me going is her strength, her inspiration, her perspective, and her courage. Because Beth got up every day knowing that her day would be hard. She had even bathing and personal hygiene and dressing herself, and so it was a difficult task every day. And she'd open her eyes in the morning and know what she had ahead of her, and she wasn't afraid of it. And she'd just go out and just knock it out every day. And that's courage. Courage is knowing what you're going into, knowing it's not good, it's adversity, and doing it anyway and doing it to the best of your ability. And she inspires me, because she always used to do everything she could to the best of her ability. And that was her perspective, is there's someone worse off than I am, and look at all the things I can do, not all the things I can't do. And she just had great strength. And that strength has carried me through a lot of times before her passing and a lot of times after her passing, because I feed off of the strength that she had. And in any situation, she did the best she could with what she had, wherever she was. So I thought of that this morning with the dinghy that didn't start. So if the dinghy doesn't start, we're going to have to row in. It's the best we can do with what we have to work with. And it was harder, but we did it. And that's how she always was. No matter how hard it was, she made the attempt. And she was brave at it. So that is the 28 Days of Beth. She passed away at 4:05 on May 21st, 2009, with her mother and I by her side. And Hannah said a few words today, too, about how much she misses her sister, because her sister was truly her best friend, and they were way more than friends and sisters. They were soulmates. They were just always helping each other. And Hannah misses her every day, but I tell her she's always with you, and she is. So that's what we try and do with the Beth Reilly Foundation, is we try and bring joy to people who feel that they can't be equal, and we can do things that put them on the same par as everyone else. And you can have fun. You can go sailing. You can go to the beach. You can go fishing. You can have fun and enjoy your family like you should, regardless of what limitations you have. So I want to thank everybody for the 28 Days of Beth, for the donations. We're still a couple of $1,000s short, so any last minute push would be greatly appreciated. And I appreciate everybody's help during this time. It's been a long road, but I had the easy part, and I couldn't have done it without the thoughts of Beth pushing me along. So thank you all very much again, and we'll keep posting, and I'll put up some of the video that we've taken during the trip.